Rose.
Hello, world.
All right. And welcome to another Housden adventure. After a week off, we are all here and ready to play. Last we had ended, the party had a harrowing experience trying to escape from the Midnight Oil and go down to the home of, oh goodness, I don't have that up. The home of a, I got it in a second here. The home of a Fourth Ward resident who's missing. But they knew it was going to be dangerous because Peter Harbog had entered the Midnight Oil and warned that anyone leaving the place would be killed. Upon exiting the Midnight Oil, they were
promptly leaving.
Promptly leaving. They were greeted with anvils falling from the sky, and then various other loony contraptions attempting to kill and or capture them by the use of under the designs of coyote goblins. Successfully evading those, they got into an Uber that Sela had ordered up and that met them in the parking lot, narrowly escaping the Coyote King, which was intent on eating Gideon. And they got into the highway onto 59, heading west, when the place that they're originally going towards is actually south. But they were kind of in a hurry, seeing as there was more coyote goblins with wings and roller skates and rocket packs on their tail. They had just merged onto the highway when Kit and Travis, who had fallen under the beguiling allure of a couple of Slurpees sitting in the car, felt their stomachs rumbling. And on that note, I would like y'all both to make a discipline check to start off the night.
0.
+4.
All right, +4. Oh, goodness. Come over here. All right. So the
Kit has.
Deborah, discipline's not a skill that you have. Unfortunately, Kit, as I recall, is the person who's currently driving the car.
Oh, yeah.
And Travis is also in the front side passenger. Is that?
I think.
And then
That sounds right.
the owner of the car is directly behind Kit. Sela's squeezed into the back between him and Gideon. Is that the ordering that we've got going on?
Yes.
Silence is consent in this case. So,
I'm not sure that's a good policy to adopt.
not a good life policy, but a wonderful GM policy. So, Kit and Travis start feeling like the entire reality, all of the world is shaking, and their bodies are uncontrollably shaking. And, and everything starts flailing about. But Travis grabs onto the side of the car and through sheer willpower stops his shaking. Meanwhile, Kit just starts flailing everywhere, and he is the current driver of the car. So now y'all are careening down the highway, and the driver is flailing wildly.
Sela is in the middle, right? And
yes.
The driver was also drinking a Slurpee. It's everybody except Sela and Gideon have had the Slurpee, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you get up there, Gideon? Can I shove you up? Just sit on top of him. Grab the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel.
It's
I reach over and grab the wheel in the meantime.
I am going to use an activation of my amulet.
Okay.
To give myself, basically say that I kind of saw before they lost their faculties that it was going to happen. So I'm kind of reaching for the wheel.
He lost his faculties.
Yeah, sorry. Before he lost his faculties. I'm already reaching for the wheel and taking over. So I can like lean up and steer and keep us on the road or whatever.
Okay.
Steer us to the side of the road so that we can change positions. Sela helpfully suggests from the back.
Are you guys not feeling this earthquake?
I'll steer us somewhere safe, or try to.
Yeah. Try to
All right,
sort the part out. Yeah.
The quick thinking or prescient thinking of Gideon allowing him to grab the wheel saves y'all Kit having to make a driving check to stay on the road, but Gideon still has to make a driving check.
Okay.
And go ahead and make it. It's going to be normally it would just be 0 to stay on the road, but trying to drive from the back seat, you've got to make at least average.
Okay.
So +1.
Can I spend a fate point to tag that hyper awareness aspect so that I can get a bonus to this?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. What kind of bonus do I get?
+2.
+2. Okay. All right. So starting at a +3, and we end up at a +2.
All right, that's good enough. You guys are not going towards your death at this point.
I'll take it.
Not through the car anyway.
Not through the car. There is more time in tonight's session.
I'm sure I'll create another problem soon.
All right. That's a good question. Okay, there we go.
This earthquake is lasting a long time. Does anyone know how to stop it?
Yeah.
It seems like it's just me,
Willpower.
which is weird. Currently open to suggestions.
Don't drink mystery Slurpees.
How about ease off the accelerator, and I'll steer us to the side.
I haven't a lot of control. Maybe we should turn off the engine.
So you glance down, Gideon, at the miles per hour speedometer, and you notice that the engine is revving and the speedometer is going faster and faster.
Can I reach the gear shift?
downshift?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I just drop it into neutral?
This is an automatic car.
Yeah. See. Yeah. You could drop it into neutral.
We just
All right. You gonna go for that?
Yes.
All right. Are you the one doing it?
I would assume so. I mean,
Is it in the middle or is it on the side?
yeah, like is
It's
it on
on
the
the
steering
it's on
column?
the side next to the steering column. Yeah.
Well, then I'll
Like,
do it because
towards the passenger, like towards the middle of the car.
No. You said it was on the steering column, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
just reach over and do it. It's just like hitting a blinker. You can do that.
All right. So now you guys, the engine's still revving and going faster and faster, but y'all are not. The speedometer immediately starts dropping down. Unfortunately, what's now going fast around you is all the other Houston drivers who
other
are not
cars?
willing. They're like zoom, zoom, as they're passing by.
I
It's
asked-
Houston, they're used to it.
I asked Sela to press that triangle button
I do.
for the hazards.
How much
And I-
traffic is there at
Us
like
in the
4
veil.
a.m.?
Thank you, Sela. That was very helpful.
Yay.
All right, and y'all, I assume you're taking you to the side of the road.
4
Yeah.
a.m. has plenty of traffic, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Plenty of
So
cars.
there's not very much shoulder space in this section of the highway, but there's just a little bit, just a narrow little section, and you kind of get over to it. And Kit, the quakes subside.
Oh, thank God. That must have been like an 8. Maybe 9 on Richter scale?
Hey, Kit, I have more Slurpee if you want some.
Oh,
No,
What? Why?
no. All the Slurpees out of the car right now. You
What?
too.
Mine was good.
Uh-huh. I saw you gripping the oh crap handle.
Did you see his driving?
I don't think the Slurpees were a problem.
I think that
No, man. They were out of this world.
I think mystery food is always a problem, and I think that Gideon should drive.
Fine.
I agree.
All right, Kit and Travis, both give me an endurance check.
I think all the people who ate the Slurpees should ride in the back. Just
In the
saying.
trunk. I mean, in the trunk.
I mean,
What? Wait, I'm not getting in the trunk.
you don't have to get in the trunk, but I'm not sitting in the back when the diarrhea hits.
It's
Diarrhea?
for all
What?
of us.
It's just a Slurpee.
+3.
+1.
All right. Continue.
So have we stopped the car yet?
The car has come to a stop.
Okay, everybody out.
There's
Onto the highway?
Is it Chinese fire drill?
there's only the doors on the left side of the car have enough space to open, and it's directly into a lane of traffic, and the ones on the right would hit a concrete barrier.
Okay.
Kit climbs into the back.
Do the windows roll down?
So you're just on top of all three of them now.
Uh-huh. Oh, I climb over Gideon, and then I aim for the lap of the owner of the car.
Sela,
So you're like head first. You're like head first. Wait, how do you climb? Because Gideon is like crossed and Sela's over top of him.
It's arm over. Then I shove Gideon's head down towards my crotch as I get the leg up, and then kind of pull him by his waist.
This story is
into
going
the
far
seat.
differently than I had anticipated.
So you're shoving the old man head first into the driver's seat as you shove yourself head first
That's
into
correct.
the back. Okay.
Sela rolls down the window in the back and like slips out, gets on the roof, and like bangs on the window on the passenger side and tells Travis, "Get in the back." And she reaches back in and rolls down his window.
Do you expect me to crawl over everyone too? It's just a mess back there.
Or you can do what I did.
How? You're there right now.
It's a big car.
Is this a clown car? Besides, I'm doing fine.
Get in the back. It's my turn.
At what?
Riding shotgun.
Fine. But I'm not going to promise I won't play with your seatbelt.
Ugh.
All right. Gideon, you're currently inverted in the front seat.
Wait, what? I knew he was like shoveling past me, but
No, he pulled you into the front, so you've got your hands kind of pressing. That's the only thing keeping you from tumbling further and having your butt fall onto the horn.
okay, I guess I'll just right myself as as well as I can.
That sounds awesome. Give me an athletics check.
Can Sela assist by like trying to shove his legs in the right place and stuff?
You could, but you're still crawling in through the window.
Oh, I thought I did that more deftly.
I gotta.
No, Travis totally slowed you down.
Ah.
It's a 0. It's neutral, or should
Okay,
I
that's
use
great.
the other roller?
No, that's good. Speaking of neutral, the car was left in neutral, and it is now starting to roll backwards.
Oh, that's all right.
All right, now Sela can help you right yourself.
Okay, first thing Sela does is reach over to the steering column and put the car in park. She doesn't know a lot about driving, but she knows P means park.
Great. So now y'all are parked halfway into the lane of driving by traffic.
Sorry, we have our hazard song. Everyone knows it.
That's a good thing.
She shoves Gideon in a way to help him get in the driver's seat.
All right, so Gideon, you can make your athletics check again, but you got +2 this time.
+3 total.
Yes.
All right, that's good. You only needed 2, so you're good. You're now in the seat. The car is halfway into the lane, off of the shoulders, kind of facing towards the concrete railway at the side, and the hazards are on, and it's in park.
Sela
Still
buckles
running.
up. Actually, I guess it'd be this way. Let's get her ticket.
Kit elbows the owner of the car into the middle.
So you're now behind the driving seat?
Yep.
All right, that's great. Make a discipline check.
What? Oh,
You start feeling tremors in your stomach again.
I got a 1.
And then you start shaking uncontrollably, beating onto the back of the seat that Gideon's sitting in. All right, Gideon, you can drive. Where are you heading?
Shock.
Where are you heading?
Yes, we needed to pick up. Her name is not Pigman, like I have written down here. What
Kaitlyn.
is her name?
Kaitlyn.
No. We're picking up someone else on the way.
Deborah Palmer. You were going to go check
Thank
in
you.
on Deborah Palmer,
Yeah, I start heading that direction.
who lives at the corner of Bartlett and Greenbrier, but you're currently heading away. You got in to the highway on the Greenbrier exit, heading away from it, so you're going to have to turn around if that's where you're going to go.
Yeah, no problem. We'll head that way. And
What?
Wait,
I'll tell
Mac is the coyote, Wily Coyote.
yeah, but we're in a car now.
What highway are you guys on?
They're on 59, just north of Rice. All right. Give me a driving check.
+1.
All right. So, despite Kit's beating on the back of your seat, you're able to focus enough to bring yourself back around and drive over to the house of Deborah Palmer. There's no run-ins with any sort of coyotes or coyote goblins or anything else as you make your way back around. In the street that Bartlett Street is pretty vacant and dark. You pull up to the house that Deborah lives at. It's a sort of more modern design. It's very boxy. Everything's very sharp angles. It's like a bunch of square blocks kind of piled on and some windows. And it doesn't look like there's any lights on in the house or anything.
Why are we here?
This is Deborah Palmer's house. She's an expert on the Black Court, and we're going to need her to rescue Kaitlyn. So come with me and be quiet.
Okay. How well do we know Deborah?
She's a friend of a friend.
Do we trust her?
Oh, yeah. What's the guy's name that owns the Midnight Oil again?
Harley.
Arlie. I said Arlie recommended that we come see her.
Okay.
All right. So y'all get out of the car.
Looking
Yes,
around.
But stealthily.
Kit, give me an endurance check.
I don't want to make these anymore. I'm sorry, I drank the Slurpee.
Start succeeding.
Nope. How about 0?
How about 0? Okay, 0's great. Okay. So y'all walk up the stairs. Travis, you don't seem to be having any more aftershocks at this point. Everything's pretty normal.
It's what happens when you're a feral child that eats trash.
I am neither feral nor do I eat trash.
Where do you live again?
Homeless is not the same as feral.
By his manners, he could have fooled me.
Mm.
All right. So y'all walk up the little walkway, and you knock on the door, ring the doorbell. What?
Can I still make an alertness check, even though I'm currently having earthquake epilepsy or whatever we're calling this?
Yeah, make an alertness check.
All right. Be a 4.
Can we all do that?
Kit, you notice nothing on the street. It seems pretty empty.
How did they get the architecture so bouncy?
You do notice you look and you can kind of as you're walking past, you look in and there is a car in the garage of this place. So you think somebody's probably home. There's just a few other.
Looks like she's home.
You got a little bit. You've got a little bit of a sense of the place, and you just feel like there's not really any lights on, but that seems more like a sign that maybe somebody is home than isn't, because if they weren't home, maybe they would have left some lights on or something. It just seems like she's probably asleep. So are y'all again ringing the doorbell, knocking,
Let Gideon take the lead here.
breaking in through the window? I mean, what's the plan?
Well, can I make some checks to look around and see if there's anything, apparently, anything apparent as to being wrong with the house? Do I sense any? I mean, is there any way to sense anything? Or
Kid says it's all fine.
You could try to do a supernatural sense of things with a lore check, or you can, if you like, are walking around looking for any untoward signs, that'd be investigation.
Can Sela do that? Can she just make an investigation check?
Yeah, Sela, why don't you investigate, and I'll do a lore check, and we'll have both ends of the world covered.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you for offering. Okay.
While they do that, I'm facing the street with my back to the house, watching to see if we're being pursued by anything.
All right.
Tugging a tree, trying to not shake anymore.
Speaking of which, Kit, roll a discipline check.
Gonna keep my mouth shut in the future.
I got a +3 total.
That's a -3.
+1.
All right. So how are you going about investigating things, Sela?
Well, Sela is a cat burglar, so she is gonna cat burgle. She's gonna kind of creep around, peek in windows, like she's casing the joint,
Sure. And you're checking latches. All the latches seem secured. You notice a security system is installed, and all the doors are locked, and all the lights are off, and the shades. Most of the shades are drawn, so you can't really see much through any of the windows.
But it doesn't look like anyone else has been in.
But you don't see any broken locks or any sort of signs of things. Travis, roll an alertness. You're somewhat distracted by the fact that Kit's over here hugging a tree, and the tree is now shaking, and all the leaves are going like there's a wind happening.
I am clearly distracted. I'm at a 0.
All right.
Thanks, Kit.
There's a mysterious sound of a timpani just rolling somewhere.
Gideon, what you notice with your lore check, there are no wards on this house. There are no signs of any sort of recent supernatural happenings. In fact, even the threshold is kind of low.
Oh, well, okay. Is it low as in this is probably a single home, or is it low as in something has kind of depleted things and it's maybe an abandoned home, or?
It's low in the sense that, yeah, you don't feel like a family lives here.
Okay.
There's probably just a single person.
In that case, I will probably walk up to the door and knock.
All right, so you knock on the door?
Yeah.
All right, you wait just a little bit, and then you hear a woman's voice. Who is it?
I call out and say, Miss Palmer, Arlie sent me to check on you. My name is Jeremiah.
Wait, you don't know her? He whispers, like hisses.
No, Arlie sent us here.
And the voice on the other side of the door says, I don't know you.
Arlie sent me to collect you. There's been a real problem started, and you're not safe here. He asked me to come get you and take you to the midnight oil.
She says, Arlie, I told Arlie I don't want to have anything to do with any of that stuff.
Can Sela try to help her feel more at ease? That's a thing she can do, right? Through the door?
Sure. Roll a rapport check.
Awesome. Can she empathize with her first? Like, look, I get it. You know, you're a woman by yourself. At night, it's 4 a.m. People come to your house. You don't know us. That's scary.
The way that empathy will mechanically play into that sort of thing takes about 10 minutes of interaction. And I don't think you want to try to talk to her through the door.
I don't.
For 10 minutes. So.
I could.
But you can assume all of those things. Those are pretty straight up things that anyone would assume. So you can of course be saying that as part of your rapport check. Right.
So she gets a 3 on her rapport check, and she tries her best to put her at ease. Like, look, I know it's a very weird situation, but it's been a very weird night, and we are definitely on the same side. I'm sorry to disturb you. I know it's late. We need your help. And Arlie's worried about your safety.
All right. She says, okay, stay here. And then you can kind of hear her footsteps step away from the door.
Okay.
Travis, make an alertness check.
+4.
I
see things.
Well, actually, what you do is you kind of hear things. You get the sense that coming down Greenbrier is that pack of coyotes.
Hey, Gideon, we really need to pick up the pace, dude. Things are looking kind of hairy out here.
Oh, does Sela know about the coyotes? Did you just say that?
All he said is things are looking hairy.
You get it? Hairy.
Okay. Nice.
Hairy. Just in case. Can Sela throw a seeming up so that we look just like the front of the house?
You can. Not everybody is. Kit is like holding on to a tree, and Travis is away from the house a little bit. You can pull them in under it.
Okay, let's do that. She goes and grabs them, or tells Travis, "Get over here." You grab the kit and get over here quickly.
Just walks over. What?
And then she
Kit convulses over.
Right.
Kit, give me an endurance check.
I'm just trying to fly under the GM's radar. Thanks, guys. Endurance, you say?
Endurance. This is your chance to lose it.
It's a 3.
Never pick up a duck in a dungeon.
Right.
A Slurpee, on the other hand.
All right. Kit, you feel like maybe it's past. You're a little jittery. All right, Sela, give me your seeming roll.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I have to look for that. Oh, that's not good, but it's deceit, so it's still +2.
All right. So y'all wait there on the front step, which what seems like forever, and soon enough you can all see the sort of shadows of the pack of coyotes coming down Greenbrier, and they stop at the Bartlett Street, and they sort of look, and they're sniffing different directions, and then they turn and they all start pouring onto the street, and they're coming sort of closer and closer, and just as they're a couple houses down, you hear the footsteps of Deborah Palmer coming back to the door, and she unlocks the door. And about the time that she does that, the door clicks and she opens it, and the door squeaks, and all the coyotes look up and they all start sprinting towards all of y'all.
Or just
Shoves
pile on the
him
door
through
and close it.
Shut the door.
All right.
Yeah.
So inside, Deborah is kind of surprised by this thing, and she's like, but she doesn't seem too alarmed. And you see she's on the phone,
I knew
and she's like, and she's like describing all of y'all and listening to responses on the other end. And she's got a sort of a skeptical eye on all of y'all, and is especially a little surprised by y'all just shoving your way in. But apparently the person on the other end of the phone is reassuring her that yes, in fact, these people are sent by him. And she says, "Okay, thanks, Arlie," and she hangs up.
Kit locks the door.
Yeah.
I kind of nod at her and say, "Thank you for inviting us into your house, ma'am."
Do you have
she
any
didn't invite
cider?
us. Yeah. Just
Shotgun?
isn't polite.
There's a pack of coyotes outside.
Or apologize for
We
the
have no
intrusion.
weapons.
So Deborah Palmer is an interesting lady. She's a little short. She's stocky, and she has she doesn't seem to be making eye contact with any of y'all. She's kind of like avoiding eye contact and looking at the floor and other things, and she doesn't really quite reply. She's like, I don't understand what this is all about. Why are y'all here?
Where's your kitchen?
Take it away, Gideon.
Well, ma'am, Arlie sent us to collect you. It appears that Peter Harbog has made a threat upon, well, the entire city, really. Arlie asked us if we would pick you up and take you to the Midnight Oil where you might be safe and maybe avoid further involvement in any of the trouble.
She says, I don't feel like I'd be safer at the Midnight Oil than here in my house. I have a security system. The doors are locked. Y'all couldn't have got in unless I let you in.
While we're having this conversation, can Sela try to figure out about her? Is she human? Is she not? I mean, she's a Fourth Ward resident, right?
She's a resident of the Fourth Ward, and Arlie was concerned about her, so that suggests that she's not
Fully.
your typical, fully normal person.
Right. So could she make some kind of check?
Could I make a lore check to try to see what's what?
Okay. Y'all are just sort of, how are you going about it? Y'all are all kind of standing there in the entryway at the moment.
Well, this is a conversation they're having, so Sela's just, using her vigilance to observe and try to, she has a little bit of knowledge of lore and stuff, so she's just trying to sniff out, what's up with this person.
Okay. You don't get any sort of supernatural sense about her.
Kit's gonna try and wander and find the kitchen.
What does she look like again? She's looking down. She's short, kind of stocky.
Uh-huh.
What color is her hair?
She's got blonde hair. It's very straight and thin. It's currently kind of, it's not in an updo, but it's kind of like she had it sort of put to the side so she could sleep. She's in her bathrobe, little fluffy house little fluffy house slippers.
Can we not see her face?
You can see her face. It's kind of she's got a sort of a more wider jaw and a nice round face. Kit, you find the kitchen. It is pretty sparse. It's kept very clean.
Large sharp knives are what I'm looking for.
Large sharp knives. There's a knife holder right there.
I'll pull the biggest one out. I want to be ready for those coyotes.
All right.
Can I check if she's got a glamour up?
Sure. Give me lore or alertness.
Not The seat?
Nope. You're on the other end of it.
And Kit will start basically looking through the house, checking the windows. He's just mostly concerned with the coyotes outside for safety, whenever it's appropriate for whatever he needs to roll.
+4 on that lore check.
All right. You don't have any sense of any sort of veil or seeming. You can tell that you had a great. You've gotten a great look at her, and your +4 is what I'm referring to, and that if she's got a veil or seeming up, it must be superb because you don't sense anything, not even the slightest bit.
So do we all know that we're here because she's a black court expert? Gideon said that in the car, right?
I would voice that question out loud if you want to know about that one.
Gideon, you did mention to Travis earlier that our friend here, Deborah, is that her name?
Yes.
Yes,
Miss
Deborah
Bond.
is a black court expert.
What?
Oh,
You
well,
meant to Kit, not Travis.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kit, the Kit.
Well, I'm sure you understand that sometimes it's necessary to tell Kit untruth in order to get his cooperation. But now that we're here, we might as well take her back to the Midnight Oil.
Oh,
And Deborah says, so what untruths are you telling me? Maybe I don't have to go anywhere.
you talked to Arlie. He sent us here. You confirmed it. Arlie wants you back at the Midnight Oil. I don't know why.
She's got a point.
So Deborah sort of she looks to one side to the other. Which one of you is in charge here?
That's a great question. Technically, I think there are 3 of us, maybe 4, maybe all 4 of us kind of vie for that position. But
This isn't really an in charge kind of operation.
In the middle of this, can we see the coyotes through the window?
You can try.
Okay, I look out the window.
All right, give me an alertness check.
+3.
You kind of catch some shadows. You think they've pulled back from the house a little bit, but they're kind of hanging out in the nearby houses.
to answer,
Right.
to answer your question, Deborah, I feel like Gideon's the man with the plan, mostly.
She says,
I mean, this is probably where my planning stopped. But yeah,
Not a good time to say that, Gideon.
Guys, I
okay.
hate to interrupt this whole discussion of whether or not we have a plan, but those coyotes are still sniffing around outside. If we're going to do something, we need to do it sooner rather than later, or we're not going to get a choice.
Or they'll just leave if you stop sticking your head out the window.
Can Kit roll at this moment of pause to finish investigating the house? Since
Sure.
it's not been there.
Give me your investigation check. What are you trying to find though, or what are you investigating? Any sign of entry from untoward entry?
And an untoward entry, if anyone's actually still in the house, if there's any danger here.
Okay.
This is a friend of a friend. Kit's always on the lookout for backstabbers. But just
All right.
hopefully he rolls high enough that there's also helpful things amongst the house.
All right.
So that's going to be a 2.
All right. I'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Deborah Palmer says, okay. She's sort of like, you can see her sort of set her mind, and she's like, all right, come with me. And she motions the 3 of y'all into the living room.
Oh, all of us. Is the Uber driver with us? We didn't leave him outside.
You
I think we
left
probably
him
do like-
outside.
Well, he's got his own car.
He does. In fact, if you look out the window, that car is gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe the coyotes will chase it.
just like I planned.
Kit left his Slurpee in the car.
yeah.
Just like I
Y'all also
Chris Slurpee.
y'all also neglected to pay him, so I don't know how that's gonna go.
Oh,
but
no. Pay him on the app.
oh, on the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
she leaves him a good review.
all right.
5 stars.
Willing to be commandeered.
No, just said ride of my life.
Perfect. So he takes the 3 of y'all in there. She does. She takes the 3 of y'all in there, and she kind of the way her living room is set up. There's a coffee table, and there's not really a TV or anything in there. And there's a couch and another little love seat sitting across from it, and 2 tables. And so it's sort of like almost a meeting room. And she points to the chairs for Travis and Sela, but she points to the love seat for Gideon, and then she sits down on the couch opposite of him, opposite of where she just sort of pointed for Gideon to sit.
Sela sits down.
What about you other 2?
I have a seat.
All right. And Travis?
I'm sitting. I'm not making waves. I'm the enforcer trying to protect us.
All right. And then she pauses a moment, and it looks like she's trying to sort of order her mind or meditate or something. And it doesn't take her very long. And then she kind of leans forward toward the coffee table, setting her elbows down on it, and she looks directly at Gideon and waits for him to make eye contact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll do this.
Can Sela make some kind of lore check to figure out what's going on?
Yeah, in 1 moment.
Sure.
Okay, I meet her eyes.
All right. As y'all's eyes meet, you feel the tug of the soul gaze, and y'all are both pulled into it. And what you see, Gideon, is you see a very, very square, very boxes ordering of papers. All these papers stacked everywhere, and it's in such a way that at first you can see Deborah Palmer behind them, but then she moves, and if she changes the angle that you're looking at, all the papers form this big long wall, and then that's all you can see is a nice evenly ordered maze of papers. If you want, you can share with what Deborah Palmer might be seeing as she's looking.
I'm gonna not try to make that up on the fly. Give me. I'll have to consider that. I hadn't actually considered what a soul gaze would look like for somebody looking at Gideon.
All right, Kit, you are looking around the house. The house seems very secure. You keep checking out the windows, and you don't see any sign of any sort of threats nearby. Nothing's been broken into. You even check inside the garage, and it's just nice and latched and locked. There's the security system got re-enabled after she let y'all back in, and you're pretty sure everything's pretty safe. You've been holding your cell phone rings in your hand, and it says it's Kaitlyn's number, which, as you remember, the collector's been using to call you.
I guess he answers.
All right. You answer the phone, and you don't hear Sarah Rosevity's voice. You hear a deeper set voice. He said, "I'm on my way. Are you all ready to meet at the Midnight Oil?"
Do you have Kaitlyn with you?
What? Why would I have Kaitlyn with me?
That's the trade.
No, Miss Rosevides told me I was supposed to go pick up the artifact and keep it from falling into the wrong hands, and that y'all have it and y'all will be exchanging it.
We're only exchanging it in exchange for Kaitlyn. We're not passing it off.
Yes, you must save Kaitlyn. That is very important, and that is why you must give me the artifact.
Look, if you're going to keep threatening me, I'm just going to hang up the phone. Make sure you have Kaitlyn with you, and then we can talk about passing off this artifact.
There's a long pause. I will see you soon. And then he hangs up.
Yeah, you will.
Which you say after he hung up.
Right. Did I find any car keys near the car, by the way, while I was in the garage?
You rolled a 2 on your investigation check?
That's correct.
I'll let you... Let's see, 2? Where does she keep her car keys? She keeps her car keys in the entryway right near the door, and hanging up on a thing. And so you found them pretty easily. So yeah, you found her car keys.
Can I have also pocketed them?
Yes. Okay. Gideon, did I give you enough time to come up with a description, or are we going to skip over that for tonight?
I think that maybe we'll just skip over that for tonight. I'm going to have to sit down and actually write it.
All right, Sela, as you are sitting there watching it, it's like there's this moment when they both sort of go kind of slack-jawed and like they're not mentally there, but it's real brief. And then it doesn't last very long at all, and then they both sort of like shudder and lean back, and they look kind of shaken up. Give me a lore roll.
That's a +2. What do you think's Vulcan mind meld?
So you know that mortal magic users tend to come with this ability called soul gaze, which when they what'd you say?
I said, of course, you need a soul for that.
You need a soul for that, yes. And when they lock eyes with another mortal, the two of them can look into each other's souls. It only happens the first time that they lock eyes, and whatever they see is, or the experience is usually very unsettling, regardless of what the person sees.
Why would they do this?
They generally don't do this. They don't like it. It's one of the reasons that wizards are often very shifty-eyed, because they don't want to meet other people's eyes so that they don't get sucked into a soul gaze.
Oh, it's something that can happen accidentally?
Yes, it can.
It's also indelible. Once you never ever forget the experience.
Oh, but it only works among human magic users, right? Or mortal magic users?
They're the ones that usually have that ability, yes. And so after that, she kind of shudders a little bit. She gives Gideon a very strange look over again, and then she says, "Okay, I'll get my things. It might take me a few minutes to get dressed and be ready." And she goes to her bedroom. Gideon, you feel like this might be a good chance to check in on Kaitlyn, or rather, the way that you think you might be able to check in on Kaitlyn is to take a moment to gaze into the future and make sure that she hasn't been killed already.
Okay. That's a channeling, right? Yeah. Let's see, what am I going to use for this? Okay, so I'm going to go find kind of an open area and take a piece of chalk out of my hand. I guess, hardwood floor maybe?
All right.
Place to draw a chalk circle?
Sort of, there's a formal dining room area, and you can kind of shove the table a little bit out of the way and make enough space. for
Okay.
a nice circle.
All right. So I'll do the magic circle thing, and then start setting up this ritual to try to divine Kaitlyn's whereabouts and whatnot. Or no, not whereabouts, but current. Yeah, I can't even talk. State.
So when you were looking into the future for possible avenues that in which the ward system is maintained and disaster is avoided, previously to today, you had determined that there were 8,637 possible paths towards safety. You also knew that because you were trying to determine the people who were most pivotal to keeping the maximum number of paths open. And you knew previously that if Kaitlyn were lost on this evening, that it would bring everything down to a total of less than a dozen possible paths in which things are kept safe. As you're
Okay,
looking...
So it's easy to figure out where...
So it's easy to tell... This isn't going to take long. If there's more than those dozen paths, you're probably good. Give me your lore check.
All right. I'll roll it for everybody to see. That is a +4.
All right. You are looking, and you are certain Kaitlyn is alive. There's far more than a dozen paths. You're sort of frustrated, though, because it looks like there's only 4,702 paths at this point in time with current things going on.
Okay.
Kaitlyn. You are cold. Your skin is clammy, and you can feel kind of like cold and damp concrete on a lot of wherever you have bare skin, and also metal touching several parts of your body.
Am I still in the clothes that I wore to the gala?
So you open your eyes to see what clothes you're wearing?
Yes.
It is just as dark as it was when your eyes were closed a second ago.
Okay. Well, I'm asking just in general, like how much, like I'm cold. I've got, like, you can usually tell without your, what's happening.
So
with your eyes closed.
You're not naked.
Excellent.
It's not that kind of a stream.
I don't know.
In fact, you can feel. I mean, but it was sort of like it was a nice gala dress, and so it's left your back bare, and
it's cold.
And it's cold, and you're against that. But you can feel. Yeah, now that you feel it, you can feel that there's that nice soft
satin.
That's the one pleasant sensation you have is the satin.
Okay. So
but
I'm cold.
Even it's been slightly marred because you feel like it's also damp. It's sort of like it's gotten wet or soaked in some water from the floor or something.
I'm damp. I'm cold. It's dark. Am I dizzy? Am I nauseous? How groggy am I? Do I need to make a con check or something?
Yes, make it would be endurance.
Endurance, okay. Okay. All right. I got a 2 after my bonus. So.
All right. Actually, what happens is when you wake up, there's a sudden, it's sort of the, sudden intake of air. And you are wide awake.
Okay. Bam. All right. It's dark. I'm alert. I'm clothed. I had taken off my shoes, I remember. Do I hear anything?
Roll alertness.
I'm very alert. That's good. Okay, let's see. 5.
All right. The first thing you hear is you can hear there's dripping
Mm-hmm.
there's dripping water.
Mm-hmm.
When the water drips, you can tell that this room that you're in is not too large, because
No
the way
echoes.
there's not huge echoes or anything, but there's just enough that you just get a nice sense that the room's not overly large, not overly small. It's not an enclosed space. You don't feel like you're in a small cell or anything like that because the dripping's too far away.
Right. Okay.
The water on the floor is just enough to be on the floor, but not enough to really be a puddle, if that makes sense.
Sure.
It immediately soaks into your dress. It's enough that there's a
it's
film of water everywhere, but it's not inches
slick.
deep or anything. Yeah.
It's slick. Gotcha. So,
You hear some other things too. You
okay.
hear, as you stop and you pause, you can hear breathing. And it's ragged, and it seems very like the person who's breathing is not in control of themselves, like they're kind of panicked and terrified. And at this point, I'd like you to make a discipline check.
Discipline. Okay. I'm only good at that. So that'll be a 3 total.
All right. That's probably good enough. That'll do it. So at first you feel like it's the panic of knowing something else, somebody or something else is here and a possible threat. But then and this terror starts to sort of well up in your stomach and rise into your throat. But you stop and you pray, and you make a prayer to the Almighty for protection and to keep you safe. And as you're doing that, you kind of feel it dissipating, and you also realize that you don't think it was just from your circumstance. You think something about this room or someone in this room was trying to make you afraid.
Is there any light source anywhere, like a window or a crack, like a door somewhere that might be letting in a little ambient light?
You've been looking and listening for a few minutes now. You would think you'd start to notice some ambient light, and it is just completely and utterly black in here.
What do I smell?
You smell mildew and a little bit of sort of a wet, earthy smell.
Okay. Body odor?
Yes, a lot of that.
Sewage at all?
Not really, no.
Oh, good. Excellent. Is the breathing stayed localized that I'm hearing? Is it localized like it's somebody who's not moving?
Yes, you can tell that. Also, as you're sitting here, kind of getting your bearings, and you start to move, you can tell that there's some sort of metal that's tying your hands behind your back.
Okay.
And it's around your wrists and around your ankles, but you're not sure. When you shift, you don't hear any sort of clinking of chains or anything.
But I can feel the cold.
You can't move
metal.
Yeah, cold hard metal. You can't move your hands or feet, but your whole body seems able to be kind of shiftable.
I say, hey, Hey, are you awake? Are you okay?
And the breathing stops. It's sort of, who's there?
It's a friend if your predicament is like mine.
It's a friend or a snack.
And then the voice. Go ahead.
Are you okay?
I can't. I could feel it. I can't. I've never felt. It's getting through.
It's okay. Shh, just try to breathe. I'm not going to hurt you. How long have you been here?
Forever. My platoon is lost. It's just me.
So my hands are behind my back. Am I lying down or am I sitting up?
You were lying down when you woke up.
Okay. How flexible is Kaitlyn? Can I wiggle around and try to sit on my hands and do the whole contortionist thing where you squeeze them out from under you and bring them forward? I know I can't do it this way, but I can do it that way. Some people can do that.
Some people can do that. The
Can
dress
Kaitlyn?
is going to... Yeah, can Kaitlyn do it? And the dress is going to give you some issues, but give me an athletics check.
Sure. I do not like my hands behind my back. I don't have athletics, do I?
So there's no innate bonus, but you can still roll.
-2.
All right, so you start to do it, but
hit your shoulder.
Yeah, and pop. No, you start to work at it, but you keep getting caught up on the dress, and you do actually flop over and sort of face plant at one point.
Yes.
And kind of give up. It's also very disconcerting because as you're wiggling and doing that, the breathing and the talking of the other person kind of he starts breathing a lot faster, and then he just starts screaming.
So while I'm doing that and while this guy's screaming, I'm going, shh, it's okay, it's okay. Just think good thoughts. Go to your happy place. Shh, it's okay. You can stop screaming. Do I hear anything else? Is the screaming like bringing people there?
The screaming is really loud. It gives you another sense that this room is sort of medium-sized.
Okay.
And that he is a little bit removed, kind of the opposite side of the room as you are. Give me a rapport roll to see if you can calm him down.
Okay, I'm good at that. 4. Because I got a +3. Yeah, 4.
You do. Yeah, you manage to with a soothing, calm voice, you sort of get him to calm, and he starts. And then he says, Kaitlyn?
Yes. Do you know me? Does he sound familiar?
He does. As you suddenly realize that this must be Bud. Bud is a homeless gentleman who has a very good relationship with Kaitlyn. He was accused of being the person who stole the seed artifact from the homeless shelter. And then got into an altercation with the police and was taken to jail. And you're not quite sure how he ended up here.
So, Bud. Yes, it's me, Kaitlyn. Bud, oh my goodness. How did you get here?
And he says, oh no, I can't. We've got to get you out of here. I've got to make you safe. And he's starting to panic again.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll get through this together. We'll problem solve together. Are you tied up?
He says, "Yes, I can't move.
Can you move at all?
No, I'm strapped down, and it keeps coming. It keeps coming
It's okay.
into
It's
me."
okay. Tell it to go away, and I start praying for his protection too. Pray with me, Bud. Pray with me.
All right, Bud joins with you in his prayer. In your prayer, well, go ahead and tell me about that.
I try to inch closer to his voice and wiggle towards him so that I can like make human contact. And I am saying, Lord, please protect your child. He's been through a lot. We are in a dire situation, but we know that you can cover us with strength and safety and help us through this trying time. Please keep us calm and clear-headed, and don't let any demons enter this child of yours.
All right, and he keeps saying, he keeps sort of whispering. He doesn't really quite say any full words, but he's you can tell that he's sort of murmuring along with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm looking on the wrong spreadsheet.
Okay.
Where'd you go, Bud?
Stay with me, Bud. Stay with me.
Stay with me, Bud. I bet I can tell depending on the roll. Oh, that's tough. Okay,
Oh,
but he's got your assistance, so I'm going to tag that. So he's good.
Do I need to roll to assist, or
no?
Okay.
So no, your prayer totally helps, and he says, I fought it off. That it didn't win that round.
We can fight it together, Bud. We can fight it together. Can you move and try to get your back up against mine so we can figure out what's holding our wrists?
So you hear this, you hear some sort of grunting, and then Bud's like, no, I can't move at all.
Okay, it's okay. I can. So there's at least that. I'm gonna see if there's a door. Are you okay if I try to see if there's a door?
I think I'm okay. I don't feel it.
Good. Just keep praying, Bud. I'm here with you. Okay? And I'm saying, Lord, help us, Bud, stay with me. And I'm just muttering encouragement and saying, we're going to get through this together. And I'm going to the edge I sort of scooch until I find the edge of the room and try to make a perimeter.
All right.
And also being aware that I might be running into is the floor sloped at all? Like it's going down into a drain? Or is there like furniture I'm bumping into? Or is it just empty?
So you got the sense from Bud's voice that you're on a good distance away from him. Which way do you go relative to his voice?
Oh, I was going towards his voice during the prayer. Like I was trying to scooch closer to him.
So you're trying to scoot closer to him, and as you do that, yes, as you kind of go further, you notice there's a bit of a sloping, and you reach sort of a point where the floor seems less concrete and more metal, and you feel like that's probably a drain.
Sure.
And then which way do you go?
Okay, so that's a drain. It's probably in the middle, but I think we're in a room with a drain. I think we're in some sort of, I don't know if it's like a shower or a gym. I don't know, but I don't know. Pick a direction.
All right. So there's towards Bud's voice, there's towards your head, there's towards your feet, and there's back where you came from.
I asked Bud again. I was like, okay, so are you hurt? Are you bleeding anywhere? Do you feel in pain? Are you hurt?
Says, I don't think I can. It's been. I can't last much longer.
It's okay. So I'm gonna go towards him, and I'll pass him up to try to get to a wall, but I'm gonna try to essentially, as I scooch by him, like try to give him some, like squeeze his like leg or his arm, try to give him some sort of comfort as I scooch by, and say,
Okay.
it's just me, but I'm gonna try to make a perimeter of the room, and I try to like channel some strength into him through physical contact, and then move past him to the wall.
All right. Give me an I'm sorry, investigation check.
One.
All right. So you stumble back. You kind of like go past him and you pat him reassuringly, and you round a little bit past him and you hit a wall, and you come and loop around, and there's a pipe that's kind of near the ground that's also running along the wall.
We're like in a steam room.
And then you keep going around, but you're not really finding any doors or any sort of other things. The floor just seems, everything you run until you hit the wall, and then the pipe that's running along it, you didn't really seem to find anything else.
Is the pipe hot?
It is not.
Okay. I go back to where I think that the drain was, and see if I can move it. And I'm talking about the whole time. There's four walls. There's a pipe. I think we're in some sort of like steam tunnel. Am I standing? I'm scooching around. Can I stand up at all?
No, not with the way that you're bound and your feet are. You can't really keep your feet underneath you.
Okay, they're too okay. Because I'm trying to. Okay, can I get to the grate and sort of back up to it and see if I can move it?
It doesn't budge.
Ah.
You can't hardly even get your fingers between it.
Okay, I'm going to turn around and just start smashing it with my ankles.
And you hear the sound of the metal on your ankles clanging against the other metal, but you don't hear the kind of rattling that would indicate that it's really upsetting the drain at all.
All right. I go back to the pipe, and I'm like, you know what? Pipes conduct noise. And I start kicking on the pipe and going, help! Because, at least if the attacker comes in, then I have a way out.
Right. So you start.
Kicking the pipe. Kicking it.
So you kick on the pipe for what seems like an eternity. It must be a good 15 minutes. And you just keep going out. Give me an endurance roll.
Sure. That makes sense. I've had an ordeal. 1.
Okay, that's good enough that you're pretty stubborn. You keep going for a full 15 minutes, and finally, pretty close to past you just moved straight up from the drain over to the pipe and started beating on it, and kind of from the direction that you originally came from. There's finally the sound of a click, and then of a door opening. And you hear the same voice that seems somewhat seared into your memory before, of the bald-headed man who was at one point the Raven guiding you through the museum. And he says, "Will you stop that infernal racket?"
Oh, hi! It's you again. Hi. I want to talk to you. You saved me. Come talk to me. I don't know what I'm saying to him. I'm just start babbling at him. I like start trying to lunge towards him. Can I see anything? Can I see him?
Everything is still absolutely pitch black.
Gosh. Okay. So I can't see him, but I hear him. I start scooching towards that noise.
And he says, "I do not have what I need yet to make good use of you, but I will return for you soon."
Oh,
and then you hear the door slam.
I can give you what you need.
And you hear then you hear a click of the lock.
No.
And then you hear Bud start screaming again, and his body shaking.
No, It's okay, bud. It's okay. It's okay. I've gotta find that door. And I go and I start palpating the door, like around that area. Anything.
All right.
Investigation?
So it's there's definitely a metal frame door there at the other end of the thing, and there is no way you can raise yourself up, or there's not even really much of a crack underneath the door.
No draft through it.
Yeah, in fact, there's such a lack of draft through it that you're pretty sure that the door has some sort of seal to hold water in.
Oh.
And we'll leave you at there for tonight because I know you got to go.
Well, one last thing I want to do. I'm gonna talk to Bud again, and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna like shove my back against his back because warmth. I don't want to freeze because I know I've been working. I've worked up a sweat kicking that pipe, and I just snuggle up to him and just start praying again and wait. Ever hopeful, ever hopeful. Thanks, guys. I love you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Elise. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Andrew, are you still around?
I'm still here.
All right. You and Gideon excused himself off, and you and Kit and you are Kit. You and Travis and Sela have all sort of been waiting awkwardly in the living room while Deborah's getting her stuff together, and you've had a few minutes there, and it's like you're frustrated about the fact that of course Kaitlyn's gone and nothing's going right. But as you sit there and you're stewing over the fact that everyone's moving too slowly, that why aren't we doing something yet? This is all going far too slowly. It changes from your usual antsiness to a lot of irritation of the fact that nobody's taking you seriously. You showed up to the gala and Rosevades didn't take you seriously. She didn't listen to your complaints, your accusations. She just looked at you and she was like, she told that other guy to make you leave. And that was it. They just kicked you out. And then everybody else it's like you're constantly being kicked out of every party that you're in, and that's just starting to really get to it until you just sort of snap and you start saying these things out loud. So, oh, and have a fate point, by the way.
Thank you. I wasn't prepared to go on a Kit rant, but we'll do our best here. Oh, why is this taking so long? Does he normally take this long? Nobody's listening to me. Guys, we have to move. Like, Kaitlyn needs us. I don't know why we're sitting around here for. I don't know why we're going back to the Midnight Oil. And
we're going back to the Midnight Oil to meet the people who have Kaitlyn, right?
Right, but we were also going to try and actually just rescue her, weren't we? Like, the Collector's not going to actually bring Kaitlyn to the Midnight Oil. There's no way. He's going to completely betray us.
How do you know that?
Because that's just how he works.
Am I still doing am I still doing my channeling thing, or am I
this
hearing this conversation?
This is all happening while you're doing your channeling thing, Gideon.
Okay.
So,
look, I don't know why you guys aren't listening to me. The Collector's a big problem. We need to get to Kaitlyn. Why are we just sitting here?
I agree. This is our path to Kaitlyn. This is part of what we need to do. There's steps that we have to follow, and this is one of them. But we are right now working towards getting to Kaitlyn.
Why is step one waiting?
It's not waiting. Step one was running from coyotes, if you recall.
That was an interim step. That doesn't count as a part of the plan.
What about the
coyotes? Weren't part of my plan.
Right. They weren't part of my plan either, but there was coyotes, and then there was, first it was anvils, then it was coyotes, then it was earthquakes and an Uber adventure, And
Look,
now
I know how we got here. I'm saying, why aren't we there?
we are getting there. But I'm keen on no coyotes, anvils, or earthquakes in this present moment. So let's hold on to this moment for just a second longer.
When's the old weirdo getting back? He said that we were going to go get Kaitlyn when we were done here.
Right.
Where did he go?
I don't know. Sometimes he has to go think. Where did you
Think?
go? You were gone a second ago. What did you do?
I found a knife and keys to the car.
Knife?
What do you plan on stabbing the coyotes with?
I don't plan on stabbing the coyotes because I don't plan on the coyotes seeing me.
Well,
And
they
if they do,
saw
I run
me.
faster
I
than you.
plan on defending myself.
Okay, well, you keep that knife.
I plan to.
Great. Are you planning on stealing this woman's car? Because I think she might not appreciate that.
She would understand that she's supposed to be helping us. She knows all about the Black Court. Where is she?
I'm sure that she can help us as soon as she gets back. She's getting out of her bathrobe. We're taking her back to Midnight Oil. She's not going in a bathrobe. That's fair.
What does the Black Court have to do with the Midnight Oil?
That's where Arlie wants her.
Arlie? What does Arlie know about the Black Court? He tried to keep me from leaving.
Well, because he wanted you to not die.
I have no intention of dying.
It's
They're
nice.
gonna kill Kaitlyn. Like, we have to go save Kaitlyn.
Okay.
I don't understand why this isn't a big problem for anyone else.
It is. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for all of us. And you know what else is a huge problem? The fact that there are coyotes outside, and that the person that is the expert on the Black Court, who is going to help us save Kaitlyn, is currently changing out of her bathrobe. So why don't you just give her a minute?
How long does it take to change out of a bathrobe? I get ready in 2 minutes every morning.
Sela, give me an empathy roll.
You get ready in 2 minutes. Of course you do. You're a dude.
That has not escaped me, the player.
That's a +3 on my empathy roll.
All right, Kit, you feel like, I mean, it's still frustrating, but you feel like this woman is listening to you and your voice is being heard. And actually, you at this point, you start the process of losing your frustration and anger over being kicked out of the party. So what I'm saying is she's put you on the path to healing. And in this scene doesn't count, but pass one more scene and you can wipe that mild consequence off yourself.
Okay.
Travis, are you just sitting there listening to Kit rant and Sela calm him happily, or?
I am probably still checking out the window to see if those coyotes are getting any closer.
All right, give me another alertness or investigation.
+2.
It looks like they're gone. Gideon, you finish.
Oh, go ahead.
Gideon, you finish with your ritual and come up to Travis, who's looking out the window.
It looks like they're gone. This might be our chance.
Would I know anything? Would Lord Check tell me anything about are they like nocturnal creatures, or do they have weaknesses? Or do they like to tunnel under and up through the floor, that kind of thing?
It was pretty. I mean, you could give me a survival check to know general things about coyotes. It was pretty hectic out there, and you don't currently see any, so you can't really kind of get a sense of what they are on that end. But
Okay.
if you want general coyote knowledge.
Well, no, it was more of.
All right. So he doesn't seem to see. Travis was saying that there doesn't seem to be any out there. And Deborah Palmer finally comes in. She's got a little satchel. She's like, and she's in the room with Kit and Sela, and she says, "All right, I'm ready to go." And you can hear her saying that.
Let's go.
And
Fantastic.
she says, "Why do you have my knife?"
There were coyotes chasing us, and I did not have a knife of my own. Can I borrow this?
No, you may not. You can go put that back where it belongs.
Do you have a gun then? I'm not leaving without a weapon.
I do not own a weapon. Why do you not have one if you need one?
I had to leave it in the car at the museum, and no one was listening to me. And it just look. It's been a weird night. Can I pay you for the knife?
She says, "I like that knife." No, you may not. Go put it back. But if you must have a weapon, we can obviously go by the museum. I mean, it's late already, so it's not like I'm getting any more sleep tonight. So we'll go by the museum and pick up your weapon. How about that?
That's a great plan. And I have the car keys, so we're definitely doing that plan.
Oh,
eyes, everyone.
Is it gonna be okay with him having the car keys?
She says, "You're also not insured," and she comes up and holds out her hand for the car keys.
Fela gives him a look like, the Kit, please don't do this. Like,
He's gonna hold on to those car keys.
Kit, you're stealing this woman's car. This is
They
actual
stole
crime.
Kaitlyn.
Okay.
Why is no one listening to me? They stole Kaitlyn. We're gonna get her back.
We would already be in the car towards Kaitlyn if you would give this woman back her keys. Do it now, or we're not leaving because she's obviously inflexible.
Kit turns and walks towards the car. You're right. We could already be in the car. Let's discuss this as we drive to the museum.
We're not. Yeah, let's go back to the museum. I'll drive. You get in the trunk.
Funny. This Kit. If no one stops him, he's going to get in the driver's seat and turn on the car.
No, you can't just leave. You're going to abandon the entire party with the car? Like, this woman is not leaving her house. Our job is to bring her back. I can't believe you're carjacking her. She doesn't want you to drive her car. It's her car. Give her the keys back.
Do you see how old she looks? No.
Kit.
She's going to drive under the speed limit.
You're being the villain in this situation, Kit. You're being
the villain. I'm the only one who wants to save Kaitlyn.
We all want to save Kaitlyn. You're being the stick in the mud. Come on.
And why is no one leaving? Let's go.
We're trying to. You're the one that won't give her keys back. It's her drive.
So Deborah Palmer comes in and she opens up the driver's side door, and then she kind of like sets herself inside the door, and then it continues to hold her hand out for her keys.
Fine. She's already in the driver's side door. I guess I'll give her the keys.
All right. And then she just sort of waits for you to get out.
Wait, was I in the driver's seat of the car?
No.
I think it said she got in there before me.
I assumed you moved pretty quick. Okay, but sure.
Oh,
so,
if I'm in the driver's seat with the keys, the car's on.
No.
Yeah, the car's on, but the door is open and she's standing in front of it, so you can't really back out without mowing her down, and she's holding her key hand out.
All right. So Kit looks at Donald Palmer and says, "Look, it's been a really bad night. My friend is in mortal peril, and I need to get to help her. Everyone else here is being lazy and not acting. I need to save my friend. Get in the back seat of the car. I will return your car, or I will pay for it if there are any damages."
I'll tell you what, Kit. Let's drop her off at the Midnight Oil like Arlie asked, and then we will take my car and go rescue Kaitlyn immediately.
Going to the museum, and I was hoping that dialogue was enough to do a presence roll to see if Donald will get in the car.
Sorry, it's not a present situation. It's a rapport.
So I want to use my presence, though.
I know you do.
All right, I'll
like
roll
to chime
rapport.
in. While they're all arguing, I chime in and say, "Oh, by the way, the collector apparently called, and he's on his way to the Midnight Oil right now."
What?
Okay, I got a -3 on my rapport. I guess I'll hand over the keys.
All right. So, at a much too slow pace for your sensibility, Kit, Deborah Palmer opens up the garage door once everybody's in. She sort of checks her mirrors.
Come on.
She backs out. She reaches the street. It's an empty street, but she pauses and looks both ways, and then goes, and she drives this way all the way to the museum. Fortunately, it's not a very long trek. It's 5 minutes, and she gets to the museum parking lot. There's no sign. There's still the sign of the police tape up on the museum wall, all the broken glass and everything else. and there's your truck, and also that's in the parking lot. It's one of the few things still in the parking
The
lot.
truck over there.
And so she drives over to that.
Kit hops out and grabs his gun, starts his truck. I'll follow you.
and she nods and she starts to drive. And she heads to the Midnight Oil.
Sheila enjoys being in a car with somebody who's not trying to kill her for once.
Kit trails behind. He's just going to find a parking spot out there. Well, he also remembers that it's not safe to be just driving around in the street out there. So he turns off his light and comes up the alley.
Make an alertness check.
All right, I'm not going to use this online dice roller anymore. That's a 4. No, a 3.
All right. So you don't hit anything and you don't see anything. In fact, all of y'all get out and you get into the Midnight Oil. It's still very much the scene of before. It's a little quieter. Some people are actually like sleeping on, like not laid out, but they've got their heads down and are kind of sleeping at tables, or in a booth. They're kind of stretched out with their feet stretched out, but they're sitting against the back wall. And Arlie, as soon as he spots you all come in, he waves you over and he's like, "Oh, Deborah, I'm so glad that you're okay. I knew they'd be able to get you." And Deborah's like, "We've spoken about this, Arlie. I'm going to be over there." And she just sort of walks and does it. It's kind of rude, really. And Arlie's he's profusely thankful to all of y'all for going out of your way for that trouble. And I'll take an alertness check from any of y'all.
Yay!
I'll do it. 0.
5.
That's a 4 unless I get bonuses for other stuff. Is it for the purpose of determining initiative?
No.
Okay, then it's a whatever I said it was.
Do you want it to be?
No, so that's a 4.
Okay. Kit, the moment you walk in the door, you kind of in the background notice the other stuff with Arlie and Deborah, and you're like, huh, interesting. But really, all of your focus and attention goes immediately to the back booth you guys were in earlier, where you see Rosevity's bodyguard sitting alone in the back booth. And he's just sitting there with his hands crossed, like he's just sort of staring on space, waiting for y'all to get in. And you're immediately lightning focused on him. You see no sign of Kaitlyn. And Sela, you immediately notice Kit noticing this person in the back booth, and that he is, you get a sense that he's probably a little bit upset at the sight of this person, that he doesn't like this person.
Do I notice? Do I notice if that person sees us yet?
You look over and he's just sitting there like a statue. He's just staring straight ahead. He's not really he's kind of facing the wall that the door's on. The door is, the booth's in the back corner. And he is facing the same direction as the door, but not at the door. The door would be a diagonal facing, and he's just facing straight towards the wall. So he's not really looking at y'all.
So she takes this opportunity to grab Kit by the elbow and like duck him around the counter, like farther out of sight from this guy. Like, I gotta tell you something really quickly. Shh, it's really important.
Kit, your alertness was your alertness was slightly higher. So if you act before she grabs you, you could.
I have to ask a previous question from our sessions first to reestablish what I recall. When we stashed the seed, was that has Kit been walking around with the fake seed?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But he doesn't know that, and that's what she is trying to get his attention about.
So, if I may, and you can tell me no, but to retcon a little bit, while Kit was investigating at Donna Palmer's house, he would have stashed his fake seed, assuming he stashed the seed at her house.
I was kind of assuming he probably would have. Where'd you stash it?
It would have been the guest bedroom nightstand.
Okay.
Because I assume that room didn't look like it got an awful lot of use since she's by herself. So, okay. I think the only action that Kit takes before being pulled to the side to be spoken to is he's just going to draw that pistol that he just got out of his truck.
Oh, all right.
But it's still somewhat concealed, but it's at the ready.
So, Sela, you see him draw the pistol, and you immediately grab him and pull him around the corner?
Yes.
He's just trying to keep eyes. The collector's here.
Okay, shh. Do you have the seed?
No, I hid the seed.
Hid it? Okay, fine. Look, and she grabs a Coke can because we're behind Arlie's counter, right?
Yeah.
So she grabs a can of Diet Coke, and she says, okay, I need you to just...
What? He didn't bring Kaitlyn.
But look.
I told you.
We can get what we want. Watch. And then she just throws a seeming over the Coke can, and it looks just like the seed. And she's like, look. Shh. Don't ask. It's a magic trick. I'm a magician.
What?
You know, like street magic. I'm like David Blaine, except cuter and more talented.
He touches this seed.
So as you reach forward to touch it, the seed's larger than the Coke can, so your hand actually sort of your finger goes into the seed.
How big is it?
And then you you feel the Coke can metal. And so it's still a Coke can. And if you hold it from the bottom, it's she hands it over, and it doesn't look any different when you hold it that way.
Holograms are not going to work against the collector.
Okay, well then get me a bigger object. Like, what's about the right size? Find something.
What?
Look around. So what would be about the right size? Is there a vase, a coffee can, a big bottle of wine? Like, what do we got?
There is
one of those like Magnum bottles of like champagne or something. Like,
give me an investigation check. And pray that I don't get to use my idea.
Oh no. Well, that's a 1.
All right. So the only thing of the approximate size that you see is one of those charity containers. It's like a little cylinder, a little glass cylinder, and it is full of coins. And that is the right size.
Okay.
So
she reaches into her pocket, right? And she pulls out that emerald bracelet that she got out, a tennis bracelet that she got out of that purse when she was leaving the museum, right?
Uh-huh.
And so she like rips the label off the charity container, right? Because it's like March of Dimes or whatever, right? So she rips that off, and then she puts the thing like on the counter with the March of Dimes thing, like this is that. And then she takes the container. She puts the Diet Coke back. And then she's like, okay, so abracadabra. And then
how is this supposed to help? He doesn't have Kaitlyn with him. There's no trade to be making here.
He wants this, and then he'll give us Kaitlyn. Now, even if he walks up with this, he's just robbing from the March of Dimes. Okay.
How does that help us get Kaitlyn?
Because maybe if we give him this, he'll take us to Kaitlyn, right? That's his deal?
There are no maybes with the collector. There is just bad.
So what's your plan? Just shoot him in the face?
My plan this whole night has been to go get her back from wherever they're holding her.
We don't even know where they're holding her.
Here. I didn't want to be here while he was here.
Maybe now that we're giving him what he wants, he'll tell us where she is. That's the plan.
He's not going to tell us where she is. That's not how he works.
Okay, well, what is your plan? Go leave and get Kaitlyn? You've got your truck. Get out.
Okay.
I'm going to go negotiate with the person who has your friend.
There's no negotiating. Don't do that.
She makes an attempt to appeal to, like, that
Any
this
sort
is
of
the plan.
sanity.
Yeah, that this is the plan. Like, first off, let's trick the collector, because isn't that a good thing? Wouldn't it be great for him to think he already has what he wants when he really doesn't? And especially because Kit thinks he knows where the seed is, and so, like, wouldn't it be cool to, like, pull one over on him? And don't you want to be there for that? And then also, like, that this is the real way to get to the collector, or to get to Kaitlyn.
All right, roll rapport.
Okay.
You're trying to cajole him into your idea.
Yeah. And that my idea is taking action.
Right.
And also really sticking it to the collector, because that's important to him. Can I tag the fact that I calmed him down earlier and I was listening to him in the living room?
So what'd you roll?
I rolled a -2, which modifies to a -1.
Okay. But you can tag the fact that you did a good job of appealing to what he wants. So you're at 3.
And
However,
I used his magic. Convincing magic.
Yeah, he doesn't buy any of that. But Kit, you can either choose to go ahead and accept her reasoning straight up. If you want to defend against it, I will actually let you use your presence in this case, because you have a reputation of not cooperating with the collector in any circumstances whatsoever. And so so if you want to use your presence on this role as a defense, you can.
But this is not cooperation with the collector. This is sticking it to the collector.
That doesn't work. Can't stick it to the collector. He's evil. Okay, I'm gonna roll the defendant. You've done an excellent, out of character, you've done an excellent job, but let's see if Kit's convinced. So he would be at a 4.
All right. So you're just like, nope.
You gave me a mild consequence earlier. Do I need to adjust presence for that?
No, you're all right. And at the end of this scene, that can go away.
Okay.
All right. So Kit's unconvinced. Travis and Gideon, y'all have noticed 2 things at this point. The main thing that you've noticed is that Kit and Sela have disappeared, and then you can hear their conversation. You can hear their furtive and exasperated voices. Yeah, they're exasperated whispers going back and forth behind the counter. And what is it that y'all are up to?
Have we established, is it actually the collector at the table, or is it just like a bodyguard?
It's the bodyguard.
It's Rose Vadiz's bodyguard.
The same bodyguard I hit with the stanchion?
Correct.
I'd like to take a closer look at the bodyguard, ideally without being observed. But I'd like to take
You haven't noticed him yet. You have no reason to have recognized him. You've never seen him before in your life, so you don't know he's anybody special.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Gideon, you got anything going on? It's you, Paul.
Sorry. Okay.
I think, if I may interject real quick, I think
Go.
At this point in the argument, Kit's looking for Gideon through whatever doorway that they're in. Like, he's trying to get him over to talk about this plan.
So are you still kind of crouching behind the thing and you're like poking up and waving him over, or are you up and getting Gideon and grabbing him back?
But he definitely doesn't want to be seen by the bodyguard. Doubly so now that I know that it's the one that he hit over the head with the stanchion.
All right, so give me a stealth check to see if you can wave Gideon over.
Okay. I think it's going to be a 3. Oh, no, it's just a 1. I thought my stealth was higher.
It's a 1?
A 1.
All right, so Gideon, you see him trying to wave you over.
Gideon, hey. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
All right.
Here. Come
I'm gonna try to sneak over to where he is.
So you actually duck down behind the counter too?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell he's clearly trying to avoid being seen, so I'm just gonna, also do the same thing.
Travis, you can roll an alertness if you want to see his stealthy Gideon attention thing.
Yeah, -1. I'm becoming less alert.
So, well, it's not that you're less alert in general. You're actually on high alert. You're looking out the window for the coyotes again, and you're so focused on that you're totally not noticing what's going on inside.
Gideon, look, the collector's agent is here, and we are no closer in our plan of rescuing Kaitlyn. Where did the lady that you brought, who knows all about the Black Court, go? Like, get her over here. We need to figure out how we're gonna stall him and get Kaitlyn back.
Well, I got an idea to stall him.
What does the collector have to do with the Black Court?
He's holding Kaitlyn.
No, the Black Court's holding Kaitlyn.
Right, and they clearly work for the collector because the collector's the one who called with the ransom.
Whoa, they clearly don't work for the collector.
I think you're mistaken.
Yeah, I definitely saw Black Court vampires like trying to eat Rosebuddies. That they're not working together.
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite of what they're doing.
Well, then why did the collector call with a ransom?
I don't know. Maybe he has Kaitlyn, but that'd be good because that
did
means
he lie? That would make sense.
That would make sense.
He's not with the Black Court. So
wait, maybe he doesn't have Kaitlyn. Maybe the Black Court has Kaitlyn.
Oh no, he definitely has Kaitlyn.
Maybe he doesn't have Kaitlyn
on Caitlyn's phone,
and all he wants is the ransom, and then he won't deliver anything.
That's what I've been saying this whole.
No, because he can't deliver anything because he doesn't have Kaitlyn.
No, he definitely has
Black Court has Kaitlyn.
A damn collector kidnapped her because he had her phone. How does he have her phone if he didn't kidnap her?
She dropped it.
That's a good point. How does he have a phone if he didn't kidnap her?
Right? He would be shifty just like that. He wouldn't bring her. He would take this seed thing that we've been all wanting, and he would just go, and he would tell us some bad place where she is, and then jump us. That's why I said we need to get out of here and plan our own ambush.
Unless he knew that you would know that. So he took her phone off the ground to make you think that he had Kaitlyn, so that when you gave him the ransom and he didn't deliver, he would get one over on you. Exactly.
But Kaitlyn wouldn't be without her phone unless
it's wheels within wheels within wheels.
You know,
right? But what I know is that he has her phone.
Okay, but there were lions the last time we were in that museum. There are a lot of ways a girl could lose her phone.
And they just happen to know that it's her phone?
Well, it's the collector. He knows everything.
And they called me. So...
Well, he obviously knows who you are.
Right.
So he would be able to call you.
And it's Kaitlyn. She probably asked him to call you. That sounds like something she would do.
No, she wouldn't do that.
She seems pretty...
She doesn't work for the collector.
No.
How about this? How about I look into the future and see...
Oh, so you're psychic now?
Building.
Oh yeah, he doesn't buy this. Like, he turns to him and is
That's
like,
right, he doesn't buy
this problem. Arlie, we need some help.
Don't bring Arlie over here.
I think we need Arlie.
The last time you brought Arlie over here, he arm pinned me to the wall.
I think
that's why we're bringing him over again.
Okay, then I'm going to leave.
Okay, we're doing a lot of talking and not a lot of doing. Let's go make a deal with the collector.
Do not make deals with the collector.
Grabs the thing, like, kind of, she tries to hide it. Like, suddenly, she's wearing a trench coat. Big black one. Like,
what if...
Rose.
Is she heading over to the booth?
Instead of...
My character, listening to them all bicker behind the counter, with a loud huff, I'll walk over to the table that we had been previously sitting at, and I sit down at the table, and I say, "Yo, what's up?"
He says, "Where's the rest of them?"
Sela walks up looking like Trinity from the Matrix, except with long hair.
Like, no, like literally, have you changed your features to where you look like Trinity or you're dressed like Trinity?
Just dressed.
Okay, I just want to be clear. Okay.
No. I mean, well, wait. He doesn't know what she looks like. So yeah, no, she looks like Trinity from the Matrix.
Kit's going to lock eyes with Gideon. This is going to end very poorly. And he stands up and walks towards the booth.
What do you say, Geek?
Please tell me he said that out loud. Please.
Yeah. like behind him.
Oh my gosh. Sela like loses her composure. Like turns around and looks and laughs at Gideon, and while she's doing that, her face, the Trinity face, blurs and it looks like the Sela face. And hopefully he sees it, or not. Hopefully Kit sees it, like because she just like left that on purpose.
That would freak him out. I don't know if he's paying attention to you anymore, though.
All right. So y'all have all sat in the booth?
Yeah, we sit down.
Kit has the gun trained underneath the table, not the bodyguard.
All right. Bodyguard says, "Have y'all finished with your little conference over there?"
Yes.
Did you bring Kaitlyn?
Mr. Rhodes, I don't believe we've been formally introduced, although I have definitely made your acquaintance at this point.
I believe you met my friend Stanchion the last time we talked. It's gonna get worse for you if you didn't bring Kaitlyn.
He says, "My name is Nelson Nkoma, and my job is to keep Miss Rosevides safe. I serve no other role for the Collector. That is my
serve the Collector.
I serve Miss Rosevides."
Fine. Did you bring Kaitlyn? It's a simple question.
Miss Rosevides wants to keep Kaitlyn safe. And to do that, we need to have one up over the Black Court vampires. And we had one up over the Black Court vampires until you took the seed. So give me the seed so that they cannot hurt Kaitlyn.
How can you ensure Kaitlyn's safety?
As long... He pauses a moment. How is it, what is it that you all expect to be accomplishing with the seed?
I expect to get Kaitlyn back. That's what this hostage negotiation is for, isn't it?
Why would the Rook give you Kaitlyn in exchange for the seed? He needs Kaitlyn for the seed.
What is Kaitlyn going to do with the seed?
It's not what Kaitlyn would do with the seed. It's what the seed would do to Kaitlyn.
I think that Kit lays the pistol on the table and leans in and says, "You clearly know a lot more than you're saying. Start talking and explain yourself."
Sela scooches back because she doesn't like the gun at all. Like, not even a little.
And he says, "Very well. If it can merit some cooperation, I am happy to divulge anything that you would like to know about the situation."
I want to know everything. Go.
He says, "All right. So, when we were unable to obtain the seed artifact, we enacted a plan in order to prevent the actual seed from being used. And that is what you are currently in possession of. And as long as we possess that, the Rook has no way to go forward with his plan
Which
of
is
using the seed on Kaitlyn and thereby raising the Thane of the Sixth Ward back.
It seems to me, though, that the seed is safe where it is because not even you have it. So why don't we hold on to the seed and you get Kaitlyn and everybody will be using their resources to the fullest effect. Yeah, I like this idea.
What danger does the seed present to Kaitlyn? And why her? Why not just anybody?
Well, she possesses certain qualities which would be magnified by the seed and of which are kind of rare today.
Such as?
She believes she's quite sincere in her beliefs. Miss Rosevades is rather confident that that's the reason why the Rook has taken attention of her. Of course, he probably would have killed her already if he knew that he actually had everything he needs with him. Assuming he does, I don't see why you guys need. You can keep the seed. We just want we want the insurance policy, the seed that you took from the museum.
and
Wait, what do you mean? Insurance policy as opposed to the seed. What was in the museum?
The insurance policy.
And that's the seed?
No, how would it be the seed? When we moved to claim it, we found out that you had already taken it.
So you're saying we got a fake seed from the museum?
So at that point, Mr. In Coma, he busts out into this deep basso laugh, and he's like, "You thought that was the real seed?"
What was it?
No. How could it possibly be the real? We've had it for months.
So what did you guys do with the one you took from the homeless shelter that you took from me?
And he sort of he stares blankly at you for a second. He says, "The real seed has been stolen."
Didn't you steal it? I implore you to be honest.
Sela gets out some popcorn and it's just like,
Okay, now when I did that lore check, am I pretty sure that we actually have the real seed? Because I mean, I saw like the images in it, and
you felt some distinct magical energy on the artifact that you guys took from the museum, and for all intents and purposes, it seemed legit.
okay.
but that doesn't mean that it necessarily is. So, wait, I'm so confused. Just
Do you make any statement in regards to this new claim, Gideon, knowing what you know?
I'm not going to tell him we have the real one if we have the real one. I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, you know, Gideon's pretty sure. Now, you know, I'm not so sure.
All right. So in Coma, he goes, "This situation is more complicated than I originally understood it to be."
What is going to happen to Kaitlyn?
who took the thing from the homeless shelter? Let's go back to that. You lost something in a you stored something in a homeless shelter? She looks at Kit.
It's all I had time for.
You left one of the most powerful artifacts in the universe, apparently, in a homeless shelter because you didn't have time.
There was a life or death situation.
Yeah, like
It happened a lot. We came right back.
it.
And it's not as important
And it was
right now.
gone.
What is going to happen to Kaitlyn? and where is she?
Sela, you notice that at this point, Mr. Ancoma has just started staring at you while you guys are talking, and he's just sort of, it's really hard to read anything in his expression, but he's just looking at you.
Can I help you?
Who hired you?
I don't know what you're talking about. No one hired me. I'm working with Gideon. My friend Gideon.
Right.
Hired me for this? To be here? I should be getting paid.
I gave you a bag of Skittles, which is probably not payment, but
It is payment.
it is payment. Okay, good.
But what do you mean, who hired me? For what? I do a lot of work.
Well, you are the only female here, so I assume you are the same female that Miss Rosevity saw stealing the artifact with, and you're here with Kit, and there was a female accomplice there too.
Did he just assume her gender?
He did. I thought that Kit was with Kaitlyn at the museum.
No,
Which I would
I
like-
know what Kaitlyn looks like. I saw her tonight, and she was not dressed the same as this woman.
Executed
She was
her
not-
tonight? Is that what you were just about Freudian slip right there?
Did you
Escorted.
kill Kaitlyn?
Did I say that really?
You said you started with an E word and then saw, corrected to C.
It was escorted.
Okay, well, it
Because he
sounded
was-
like exit saw.
Cool.
I might have been at the museum. You know, I sometimes have reason to go to the gala.
So, was it the Rook?
I mean, time out. Was it the Rook?
Yes.
I think it was. But was it really the Rook, or was it just somebody who works for him?
I mean, it was. I mean, you always do business with various go-betweens, so you didn't see him particularly, but it was the Rook you understood to be yourself to be working for.
Okay. She looks right at him and she says, as I'm sure the collector knows, I am not in the habit of revealing my clients.
Awesome. Give me a deceit roll.
But that's true.
I know it is. If you want, if you want, you can give me rapport instead.
You're deceiving him with the truth.
I am
How
deceived,
clever.
and I will deceive him with the truth. That's 5.
All right. He sighs and he sits back. All right. Well, I suppose that nixes that idea then.
Does he believe me?
Give me an empathy roll.
Because here's the deal. I'm not trying to not tell him who hired me. I'm trying to not make sure the collector never hires me again.
Right.
Not the same thing. Did you say empathy?
Uh-huh.
That is a 4.
He's hard to read, but you kind of think that he believed you, that he couldn't get any read on you, and he has no idea.
If it was the Rook, what would it matter?
He says, well, I was only thinking that would be a good way for us to be able to get in to the Rook's location, because clearly you would have a delivery.
Right.
You would be expecting that. And then we could use that as a way to not have to fight our way in, because I don't think we could fight our way in.
Well, that's maybe still on the table. How would that help us? Where's Kaitlyn?
Well, we saw the Rook in the museum, and then both it and Kaitlyn were gone. And we assume he's the one who was stealing the seed, and because his servants were attacking us.
So wait, our plan now is to go deliver the artifact to the Rook. But clearly we're not going to give him the actual thing because that seems real dodgy. So we're going to give him something that's not genuine, right? I assume that's part of the plan?
Well, yes, whatever was stolen from the museum is not genuine, so it has no value whatsoever aside from the fact that it's an insurance policy that prevents the Rook from being confident enough to go forward with his plan. And so my thought, and he's starting to doubt, he's starting to lean a bit, you can tell he's leaning a bit more towards the idea that maybe this is all a little less hypothetical, and he leans forward. My plan was that we could all go see the Rook on friendly terms, so to speak, giving him what he thinks he wants, and then turn on him the moment that we have a clue of where he is and possibly where Kaitlyn is. I'm sure they would be in a nearby location because he's anxious to complete his ceremony.
Now I interject here, and I look at you, and I say, so your plan is to go make nice with a black court vampire, and then once in his lair, double cross him.
Yes, that's the plan.
That's your plan.
If that is what it takes to save Kaitlyn, I serve.
Does Rosevides employ anybody who hasn't suffered massive head trauma?
Recently.
He actually busts out laughing at that. He finds that pretty funny. He says, "She used to."
Until recently.
Right.
There's been a recent change, and he sort of he gives a chuckle and kind of looks at Kit.
Gideon actually smiles at that. I think he would actually like that answer quite a bit. It's pretty self-aware.
I think that's a pretty good plan. Y'all have fun.
Yeah, I mean,
you know where Kaitlyn is? Are you working for the people who took her?
He says, "I work for Miss Rosevides, and I am
I
whatever."
wasn't asking you.
Who are you
Oh,
talking
I'm sorry.
I'm talking to Sela, the person who appears to be working for the people who have Kaitlyn.
No, I don't. I'm not. I didn't even know who Kaitlyn was until this evening. I took a job. I take jobs. Maybe I took a job for that guy. Maybe sometimes I work for the collector. Maybe sometimes I work for other people. Who knows?
For the collector too.
I work for everybody. Everybody who's anybody.
Holding out on me all night.
What? I would
We've been
work for
talking
you.
about the Black Court all night, and you haven't offered up a single avenue.
I don't know anything about the Black Court. I don't have to. It's not part of my job. I never interact. That was the most hands-on, face to face. My whole shtick is nobody sees me. You may have noticed that about me. Sneaky. Sneak in, I take things, I leave. I exchange things. I'm like, I take your library books back for you sometimes. Just that kind of swapping.
But you didn't think this information would be important?
But why would you care to? If you needed to know that I was one of the best burglars in the universe, then you would already know it.
I don't care about your burglary. We've been talking about going and saving Kaitlyn from the Black Court vampires, and apparently no one's listening to me because you have an in that you haven't told us about.
I am not going into the lair of the Black Court vampires, and
so you have no intention of helping with Kaitlyn.
I will absolutely give you anything you want to use as a bargaining chip, but I'm real skeptical right now, as the plan is in its current moment, with going in and double-crossing vampires in their lair without Kaitlyn in hand even. Because his plan was, we're going to give him the thing, and then maybe he'll tell us where he's holding Kaitlyn, and then we're going to be like, haha, suckers, and run out. And I feel like that's not a good plan.
No, my plan is to take it to the collector. If you had been working, I'm sorry. 1 second. My plan is to take it to the Rook. If you had been working for him, we could get in and he would not be suspicious. If we are just offering it for Kaitlyn, he will come expecting a double cross. If it's being offered by whom he hired, he would be expecting what he hired to be obtained.
Yeah.
But seeing as how you were probably not hired by the Rook because you're unwilling to work with Black Courts or even punch them in the face, which is what I would do to him once I saw him. I think it'd be all best for everyone involved if y'all would give me the fake seed so that I can then go take it over to the collector's vault, where it will not be able to be obtained by the Rook. And as long as he can't obtain it, y'all will have more time to save Kaitlyn, because he will be afraid to use the real seed, which apparently you have let fall into his hands on Kaitlyn, as long as there's the possibility that he would lose Kaitlyn with no benefit.
This is all I'm going to say about this job. And she reaches into her hair and pulls out this folded piece of paper, and it's that photograph of the family of aristocrats. And she puts that down and slides it across to Rose Vidiz's bodyguard and is like, that's what I know. That's what I received from my client.
And Ancoma sort of studies those faces for a moment, and he says, these people were turned to Black Court by the Rook. I fought them this evening. So...
All right, Sela, just give him the seed.
He leans forward and he says, how willing are you for the idea of not walking up and asking nicely where Kaitlyn is, but walking up and punching the Rook in the face for giving you such a bad evening?
I've had a bad evening. I'm not much of the punching type. I'm happy to...
I'm sure Travis will punch him.
Happy...
What I'm good at.
...to be the avenue by which he gets punched. How about that?
And Chroma laughs and he leans back, and you can kind of see. We'll make both. Anybody who wants to can make a lore check.
That's a 3.
+1.
0. I don't know why I'm using the online ruler.
I know it's really bad.
Real dice are always better. All right, so Travis, you can tell some sort of magic is involved in what happens next. Sela, you actually watch the magic. It sort of starts in his chest and it sort of ripples out, and you see him. It's kind of different but familiar, because it's like your glamours that you use. Only you can tell there's a true seeming sort of aspect of what's happening here. And it's like he fills out in his suit. He's a big man. Mr. Ancoma is a big, bald-headed African American man, and he's got nice wide-set features and a flat nose and big hands, wide shoulders. But it all broadens a little more, and it all thickens up a little more, and then he literally squeezes the table, and the whole table just sort of like starts sending out cracks from where he's just squeezing it. And he says, and I am happy to be the instrument by which you can punch. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Yay! It was useful.
Wait, was that a threat?
Gosh. New plan.
Kit, you can have a fate point for your that damn collector role playing earlier and being frustrated.
Thank you.
We are going to cover this guy in garlic, and then just like turn him
Roll
loose.
him in garlic butter. And
Yeah, and just like turn him loose.
You're just gonna let him loose?
Yeah. So like, I think that'll work, right?
Sela's definitely going to take some garlic with her.
So yeah, we'll move forward with some plan next week. Y'all can discuss it more when we get there next week, or we can think about it and throw a few emails and just go straight forward into it.
So I'm a little confused about exactly the seed that we are in possession of.
Uh-huh.
Is that the insurance policy or is that the real seed?
Mr. Ancoma is fairly convinced that it's the insurance policy. Gideon, from his lore check, feels like it's an actual magical artifact. And so he's not so sure that's correct, but he didn't realize there was a fake one. So
if I was the collector and I was going to make an insurance policy, I'd probably make one that was also a magical artifact, right?
That's a very good point.
Of course, Kit believes that he's the only one who knows where the actual one is.
Yes.